Hello everybody, my name is Mrs. Fingers. I'm your math teacher for algebra this year. So let's start with the following presentation. Today we're going to talk about solving word problems using multi-step equations. So that's your objective. You will be learning how to do that. So here are the steps to follow. First, you have to define a variable. To define a variable, and you're saying what you're trying to find. Use the let statement to define a variable. For example, let x equals cost of one item. Then you would set up an equation and solve. Use keywords to set up an equation, and then you would solve it. When you answer it, it's not just saying x equals 2, for example. It is to give exactly what problem is asking for, so to answer in context. So let's take a look at a few examples. So for each problem you're going to see here, you will define a variable, then you will set up an equation and solve it. Interpret the answer in context. So question number 1. There are 8 math classes in middle school. 7 are equally sized, and the 8th one has 32 students. If there are a total of 221 students in the middle school, how many are in each of the equally sized math classes? So in order to define a variable, I want to reread the question itself. How many are in each of the equally sized math classes? And then I would say let x equals the number of students in an equally sized math class. Then I could set up an equation because 7 classes are equally sized and the 8th one has 32 students. So we're going to do 7 times x plus 32, that equals to the total number of middle school students, which is 221. Let's see how we solve it. So we're going to move 32 to the other side. We're going to subtract 32 from both sides of the equation. So we get 7x equals 189. And then we divide both sides by 7. So 189 divided by 7 is 27. But that's not it because I wanted to answer the question. And the answer now will be on the bottom here. It says there are 27 students in each equally sized math class. Let's take a look at another example. Nick has $45 coffee gift card. He purchased the same hot chocolate 6 times and had $18 left on the card. What was the price of each hot chocolate? So let's take a look at the question again. Question says, what was the price of each hot chocolate? So then to define a variable, I'm going to say let x equals the price of each hot chocolate. Then I'm going to set up an equation. $45 gift card covers 6 hot chocolates, so 6 times x plus $18 that's left on the card. Now, how do we solve it? Of course, we subtract 18 from both sides first. We get 27. When you divide 27 by 6, you get 4.5 or 4.50. So then to interpret in the answer in context, you're going to put the price for each hot chocolate is $4.50. And the next question. Number 3, the number of students in music class is currently 80 students and is increasing at a rate of 4 students per day. The number of students in PE class is currently 120 students and is decreasing at a rate of 6 students per day. After how many days will the number of students in music class equal the number of students in PE class? So really, what's going on here? The counselors are trying to balance the 2 classes, music and PE, 2 elective classes. So let's take a look what's going on there. And in order to define a variable, you are going to reread the question. After how many days will the number of students in music class equal the number of students in PE class? So how do you think we should define a variable? We are going to say let D equals number of days until the classes are balanced. And so I'm going to start with an equation. So in the music class, we have 80 students currently, and we're increasing it at 4 students per day. So then it will be 80 plus 4 students per day, 4 times D. In the PE class, on the other hand, we have 120 students, and it's decreasing at a rate of 6 students per day. So it's 120, but when it's decreasing, we're taking it away. So 120 take away 6 students per day, 6 times D. And because the classes should be balanced, the number of students in both classes should be equal. So here is the equation. 80 plus 4D equals 120 minus 6D. So the first step, I'm going to add 6D to the other side. And I end up with 80 plus 10D equals 120. Then we take away 80 from both sides. So 10D equals 120 minus 80, which is 40. 10 times what number is 40? Obviously, it is 4. So to answer the question, we're going to say both classes are balanced after 4 days. And one last question for you. Here it is. Gym A charges $50 membership fee and $20 per month. Gym B charges $10 membership fee and $30 per month. After how many months is the total cost the same at both gyms? So you see, the question is, after how many months is the total cost the same at both gyms? So I've defined the variable as let M equals number of months after which the total cost for both gyms are the same. And so, how would you set up an equation? What do you think? How much Gym A charges? Charges $50 membership fee to start and $20 for each month. And Gym B charges $10 membership fee plus $30 per month each month. So think about it. What is your equation? You are absolutely correct. Your equation is 50 plus 20M equals 10 plus 30M. Very good. Now let's solve. What is your first step there? And you are correct. You subtract 20M from both sides. And you end up with 50 equals 10 plus 10M. So then we take away 10 from both sides. And we get 40 equals 10M. So M in that case equals 4. And so when I answer in context, I would say both gyms cost the same after 4 months. Do you have any questions? If not, we are going to conclude the notes and we're going to start with the practice exercises.